Willow and I are back from our trip to Lowe's, and we got this wallpaper removal steamer that we were going to try to get the wallpaper off. I've ran into a couple issues already. One is that you need to plug it into a grounded outlet, and most of the outlets here don't have the grounded part to them, so to see if any of our outlets do. I was going to replace the outlets. My husband checked yesterday and he said that there was a grounding wire, but I didn't buy the outlets yet, so we might not be able to even plug this thing in. And then the other thing is that in the instructions it tells you that you should oh, there it is about the grounded outlet, that you should score the wallpaper first. And of course, while I was at Lowe's, I didn't get a scoring tool, so we might have to do more shopping before we get started, right, Willow? But Willow likes going to Lowe's. She gets lots of attentions there. And there was even a customer with dog biscuits in his pocket. Yeah, you got 2 treats. I'm back from another trip to Lowe's. I got lots of new outlets, but maybe I won't have to install them just yet, because I found installed on one of the air conditioning units in here an adapter. So it looks like I will be able to plug in the wallpaper steamer after all. I also picked up this scoring tool that the reviews say breaks very easily, but I had no other choices. So I'm hoping that it will last long enough to do all the wallpapered rooms. I'm looking at this one and it looks painted. The question is it painted wallpaper? But this, I don't know, this room might actually just be painted. Maybe only 2 of the rooms are wallpapered. All right, but the ceiling, yes. Here we go, we're gonna try it out. Well, I'm back and I have everything set to try to steam off this wallpaper. So we have an interesting story about this window in the bedroom. Each bedroom had a window AC unit in it, and when Ben took them out, this window was missing the bottom sash. It was just being held in there by the top sash. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the missing half of the window anywhere in the house, and so unfortunately we're going to have to replace the entire window because it's impossible for us to get the missing half from a window made 20 years ago. Got my scoring tool. I tried scoring just one area of wallpaper first. I'm going to see whether, how much easier that is than the unscored wallpaper, and decide if it's worth going over the whole room with that. Got my power adapter, so I think I'm ready to go. So what I discovered with my experiment was that pre-scoring the wallpaper actually made no noticeable difference. Which is good and bad, because I guess the good news is that I didn't have to go around and score the rest of the room, which would have been a little bit frustrating. The steamer worked pretty well as long as I held it in place enough time for the glue to really detach. But it did leave plenty of glue and some bits of stuck paper on the wall, so you can see the wall's looking still pretty grimy, even though the paper's coming off relatively quickly. My arms would get tired, and I would get tired after all of this, so I did this over numerous days, and it wasn't too bad until it came to doing the ceiling. That was the slowest going part, because holding my hands up over my head quickly became tiring. I have to admit that it was oddly satisfying seeing all of this wallpaper come off the room and seeing the walls kind of brighten everything up. I didn't get a very good angle with my camera here, so you can't see too well, but here is my first attempt of getting the paper off the ceiling. The power's off since we're getting our electric upgraded, so I couldn't use the wallpaper steamer. So instead I decided to start cleaning off some of the walls, been sponging them off and then wiping them with a rag. And you can see the right side of the wall that I cleaned off and the left side that I haven't. So yeah, taking off the wallpaper left a lot of wallpaper glue, little pieces of paper stuck. So I've just been going over with a wet sponge and that gets off most of it. And then just using a clean cloth to get any little bits that are stuck behind. So it's the wall's starting to look good. Gonna be able to paint soon. I finished washing off this one wall. I noticed there's still some discoloration and I don't know if that's just like staining or if maybe there's still some wallpaper glue on there. So I'm definitely going to go over it again later and just see if anything more comes off. Some hints is that I discovered that long gloves like this are definitely better than the short ones I used earlier because water just went inside them. After our electric upgrade was complete, I was able to plug my steamer back in and start working on the ceiling again. I had used the smaller steaming tool to get some little edges around, like especially the door, and so I tried that on the ceiling. It worked pretty well, but it was really slow going with it, so I switched back to the larger tool for the rest of the ceiling. I just had to get a video of getting the last bit of wallpaper out of this bedroom and off of the ceiling. It was kind of satisfying to get this last chunk off. I finally got off all the wallpaper from this room, including the ceiling. I just have to clean all the walls. Unfortunately, there's still this room to go with the ceiling. So this will be a project for the future.